Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Elise's Eats, and today we are making galaxy-themed macarons for the release of Guardians of the Galaxy 2. Flavia and I are so excited to see it, and we're seeing it in a couple days, and so we thought, why not make galaxy macarons? I mean, let's do it. So these are the ingredients you're going to need to get started. 200 grams of sifted almond meal, 200 grams of sifted icing sugar, 80 grams of old egg whites. Now these are egg whites I've cracked 3 to 5 days earlier and covered in cling wrap and placed in the fridge. And then you're going to need 70 grams of fresh egg whites, which I've just cracked. And these both have to be room temperature. 50 milliliters of water, 200 grams of caster sugar. And then to make our macarons or galaxy, we're going to need some food coloring. I am using purple or violet, blue and pink. And for the filling of your macarons, you can put in any of your favorite fillings, like white chocolate raspberry is delicious, vanilla bean. We are using our salted caramel filling, which we have made in this video just up here. Basically, we took 250 grams of caster sugar, 200 grams of butter, about 120 mils of thickened cream, some vanilla bean paste and salt, and turned it into this gorgeous filling caramel, which I'm very tempted to eat, but we're going to save it for the macarons. Let's get started. Okay, so what we're going to do first is make our meringue. Now what we're going to do is put our caster sugar and water into a small saucepan and put it onto the stove until it reaches 117.5 degrees Celsius. So you can use either a digital thermometer or a candy thermometer. I like the candy one. So while your sugar syrup is heating up to 117.5 degrees, we are going to use a whisk to combine our icing sugar and almond meal into a large mixing bowl. Now, of course, you can sieve these together, but I like doing a whisk just because it's a lot less messy, and because we've pre-sieved these already, there shouldn't be many lumps. Once it's reached 117.5 degrees, take out the candy thermometer and let it cool until there's no more bubbles forming. So now we're going to make the meringue. We're going to put our old 80 gram egg whites into a metal bowl and whisk it up until it gets nice and foamy. Then we're going to add our sugar syrup when it's cooled down so that there's no bubbles forming. And now that's ready. So once it gets to a nice foamy consistency like this, we add our hot sugar syrup. But you want to add it while the beaters are beating, because otherwise the sugar can actually harden in the egg whites and you get lumps of sugar, which you don't want. Now add it slowly. So now we're going to let our meringue whip for about 5 to 10 minutes. Now the reason why we're using a metal bowl is because if you touch it at this point, it's very hot. You want to whip it until it starts to feel cool to the touch, and then we'll move on to the next stage. To get all the meringue goodness off. Okay, so our meringue was whipping for about 9 or so minutes until it got nice and cool. We're also in quite a nice cool room, so that probably helped. But what we're going to do now is add our fresh 70 grams of egg whites to our almond and icing sugar mix, and we're going to mix it all together until it's uniform in consistency. Right now, it's at the consistency of very watery Play-Doh, but don't worry, it's going to become all nice and fluffy when we add the meringue. Okay, now add about 1/3 of the meringue to the almond meal. This is going to loosen this harder mixture up, and then we're going to add the rest of our meringues. The reason we do this is so that all the meringue doesn't lose its airy goodness. You can be a bit aggressive working all of this together, it's just to loosen the mixture. But when you add the rest of the meringue, you have to fold it very gently. Again, you want to mix it until it all looks uniform. So now we're going to add the rest of our meringue to our mixture, and we're going to fold it very gently this time until it's all incorporated. Now, the proper way to fold this is to scoop from around the edges and then fold it over the top. And then continue this in a slow but continual manner. So now that we've got our main mixture finished, what we're going to do is divide it into 2 regular bowls, a small bowl, and then leave a little bit of the remaining white mixture. If you just want one color of macaron, just color this itself, or even if you just want 2 colors, you just divide it between these. Now, the thing with galaxies are, they're not the same anywhere. So these macarons are all gonna look different. You can choose to put as many colors in this as possible. You can make it look as weird as you want. I'm just gonna put a few scoops into here, a few scoops into here, and a smaller scoop in there, and just color it to my heart's content. Just have fun with it. Like, no one's gonna attack you for having slightly more of one color than another. Galaxies are all different and independent, and that's what makes them beautiful. And that's why we guard them. Get the pun. Anyway, let's color these things. Okay, now I'm using gel food coloring just because it gives a really good color. Usually with macarons I would use powdered food coloring, but today I feel like using gel. With this part, you want to also fold it as we folded the original mixture, nice and soft, because otherwise it can lose all of the airy goodness, and we don't want that. Now again, because I want all these colors to eventually be mixed together, it doesn't have to be mixed together perfectly. I'm actually gonna leave it with a little bit of the white still running through, because I think it actually looks quite cute. And I'm just gonna repeat that with all the remaining colors. Again, I'm gonna leave it with a bit of that marbling effect because I think it looks really pretty. Okay, once you've got all of your colors mixed, what we're going to do is take a piping bag, and we're going to take a piping nozzle with a round tip. Now this is about 11 millimeters in diameter, and that's what I've always used, so I'm using it again. And we're going to put the nozzle in our piping bag. We're going to mix the colors into the bag. We're going to keep them separated in the bag. You'll see what I mean when I put it in. And then we're going to take a long wooden skewer and kind of mix it so they all go swirly together. It's going to look really pretty. So what we're going to do is line some macaron circles with some baking paper. My circles are about 3 centimeters in diameter. If you want larger macarons, of course you can do it, but the baking time is going to differ from what I'm going to tell you later on. I also put a cup on here just to weigh down the paper so that it doesn't move. What I'm going to do now is get my little bag and get a little cup to put it with. Place it into the cup and fold the bag over on itself so that it's easy to put the mixture in, so it can kind of stand up on its own. So what I'm going to do first is get some of the purple, and I'm just going to slowly drip it into one side of the piping bag and just let it run down on its own. And then repeat it with the blue on another side of the bag. Don't worry if they overlap a little bit. Again, galaxies are all unique and special. finally a little bit of white. Take a long wooden skewer, stick it down into the bag and just slowly swirl it around so that the mixture all mixes together. And then just pipe it out onto your baking sheet. So what I'm doing here, I place the piping bag right in the center, squeeze and give it a little bit of a wiggle around, and then quickly flick it off the top. So I push, wiggle it around a little bit, and then flick. Another trick you can do as well is when you filled the bag up like this, you can actually hold it upside down, because otherwise sometimes one color can dominate, and just rotate it around. Look at them, they're so happy and melody. Once you've piped your first lot of macaron shells, you're going to slide them onto a baking tray, and we're going to bang them on the table. This is going to let any air bubbles escape and also let them spread a little bit. But we're going to kind of bang it down, then turn it 90 degrees, bang, 90, bang, 90. That just makes sure it spreads all evenly. It's at this point, before we let our macarons rest, where you can put some really cute little decorations on. I've actually found some edible glitter, so I'm gonna put a little bit on these because it's gonna look really cute. You can also put little sugar pearls or anything else on. Sprinkle a little bit over all of them. Now we're just going to let them rest for about 20 minutes and until you can touch them and they don't leave a mark on your finger. And then just repeat with the remaining colors. Now remember, you can make them predominantly purple, predominantly blue. It's up to you, galaxies are all different. Just make them because they're delicious and pretty. Okay, so the macarons that I first piped have been sitting out for about 20 minutes, so you can touch them without them sticking to you and they feel like they've got a little bit of a hardened shell in them. At that point, you put them in an oven preheated at 150 degrees Celsius, fan force, for about between 10 to 12 minutes. Now this will depend on your oven. Macarons are very temperamental with their cooking as well. You want to bake them long enough so that you can touch the top of them and they wiggle only very slightly. I'll show you what I mean. You're looking for this little wiggle. Once your macaron shells have completely cooled down and are nice and dry, and you can pick them up very easily, we're going to fill them with our delicious salted caramel filling, and then just look at them in the warm. Now let them sit until they're completely cooled, and then we're going to fill them with our salted caramel filling. So what I'm using here is just a disposable piping bag. Of course you can also use a Ziploc bag or just spread them on yourself. But I'm just going to take some of our salted caramel, which looks divine. Now what you're going to do is you're going to search among your galaxy and find two perfect pairs that they fit together really nicely, just like these two here. And we're going to take one half of them and just pipe our filling onto it. Doesn't want to come off. And then just put the other one on top, sandwich it together. Oh, it's stunning. So this should make between 40 or 50 macarons, and it all depends on how many you eat as well in the process of it. But between 40 to 50, maybe for me, only about 40. Just repeat with all the remaining macaron shells and remaining salted caramel. And you know what, just by some chance, if one of your galaxies is not perfect, unfortunately you may have to eat it because it might just never find its soulmate, and you know what, it might as well go in your tummy. And if you happen to find its soulmate later on, eat it so that it can join up in your tummy. We're not gonna get 40. No. Oh no. What a shame. What a shame. Marsh, come here. Do you want a galaxy macaron?
Galaxy.
Come here, 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 come here.
Yeah, sure.
Come here, come here, come here. Try it.
Oh wow.
Look at it, it's shiny.
That's pretty cool. Pretty good.
Okay guys, so that's how you make my galaxy macarons, and they came out so incredible. I'm so happy with them, and they just all look so special and unique, like everyone in a galaxy. But yes, let's eat. I'm very excited.
Come and eat.
What am I eating?
Macaron.
We are both wearing galaxy stuff. I don't actually know if you can see my leg.
She's very gorgeous, and she lent me this top because I didn't own anything galaxy. But yes,
They look
okay.
so pretty.
One for here.
Snatch it.
Yeah, that was actually mine.
Sorry. Sorry. But you were handing it to me and I was like, that's so nice.
Oh, so lovely. Okay. I love salted caramel because the saltiness counteracts the sweetness of the shell. Stop looking at me. Dad's over there, he's gonna come in here in a second. It's so delicious, and the glitter makes it look magical.
It does.
Like a galaxy. Now, with macarons, they actually have the best consistency, texture, and taste. Taste 24 to 48 hours afterwards, let them mature, so to speak. But we're gonna eat them now because we can't wait anymore. So yes. So how do you think?
Delicious. I think they are amazing, and I could eat these every day.
Come here.
Why?
Because reasons.
Don't you want to eat the magicalness?
Yeah.
Taste the rainbow.
Taste the rainbow.
I thought it was a cosmos. A galaxy. What's all
They're
the
out
stars?
of this world.
Is that what the stars for?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, look
the
at that. That's a
galaxy.
nebula, isn't it?
But do you see the glittery shininess?
It's sparkling.
It's sparkly. Is it Gary approved?
That's amazing.
Yay! Does it taste out of this world?
I literally just made that.
Oh. Yeah, you could stretch it a bit.
Did you?
Even better with coffee.
There you go. Better with coffee. And by the way, keeping in the theme of all spacey things, may the 4th be with you. Spacey. Hey guys, thanks for watching this video. And if you want us to make any other food or recipes from anime, manga, TV shows, movies, games, let us know. Comment in the section below. Message us on social media. Talk to our faces. We're pretty friendly, so if you want to. But yeah, so see you next time.
Bye.